They say they were treated like their children didn't matter, that their lives were not worth a fight. They are the parents of babies diagnosed with a genetic disorder called trisomy.
KY3's Linda Russell introduces us to two families from Southwest Missouri who hope that their stories will change hearts.
One family from Springfield, one family from Joplin. But the parents of both Camry and Eden say once they received the trisomy diagnosis, some medical professionals wanted them to just give up. Camry was born October 15th, 2013, a day full of emotion for Krista and Corey Thompson.
They put her in my arms, and it was just such a beautiful moment because we didn't know what we were going to have with all the things that people had told us, and she was beautiful and wonderful.
Beautiful, even with a cleft lip and palate and all the medical challenges she faced. An ultrasound at 22 weeks and a blood test led to Camry's diagnosis, trisomy 13, meaning she had an extra 13th chromosome.
It was very cold and calculated, the information that we were getting. We just were like, you're talking about our child, and they started saying things like incompatible with life.
You know, your daughter's not going to live, plan for a funeral. And had we not said anything, that would have been it.
But the Thompsons did their research, found online communities full of support, and learned that some babies with trisomy 13 and trisomy 18 do survive.
I had doctors telling me, well, there isn't children that are living. And I said, well, I've met one, and her name is Eden.
Eden just turned 3. And loves the things other little girls love.
You like this song, don't you?
Eden was diagnosed with trisomy 18 a few days after birth. Her mother, Samantha, received the news as she held her daughter for the first time.
I was excited but nervous because she was hooked to all these things, but the doctor actually said, and I quote, "She's a very beautiful baby. Oh, and by the way, she has trisomy 18. She's going to die soon," and walked out.
But Samantha knew from that moment Eden was a fighter.
She picked herself up on her tippy toes and her forearms and screamed for a good minute. And anytime a physician would walk in her room, she would have a fit.
Eden stayed in her birth hospital's NICU for a month, but her parents say the only next step doctors offered was hospice.
It even got to a point where we walked in one day and they had shut all of her machines off without our knowledge. And she walked up to her and she had vomit on her that was crusted, and they hadn't changed her diaper. And it was just one doctor persistently wanting us to go.
Through their own research, Eden's parents found a hospital that gave her a chance.
They said there's no reason you can't repair a heart. A child's heart is a child's heart. 2
heart surgeries before her first birthday, and Eden is now going strong.
She amazes us every day. It'll be the littlest things. It just the other night, for the first time, you know, she's been grabbing the handles for her drink, but she pulled herself forward to go to the cup.
Because of stories like Eden's, the Thompsons felt they needed to go outside the Ozarks to give Camry the best chance.
Basically, they said we would make her comfortable and then let her pass with you. And for us, that was not the option that we wanted. We wanted to fight for her.
Camry was born at a St. Louis hospital.
It was amazing to see they had teams set up for anything that they possibly might need for her. And I mean, they just took such incredible care of her.
Doctors planned for the heart surgery and other treatments she needed as Camry was surrounded with the love of her family.
9 days may not seem like a lot to some people, but it was the most amazing 9 days of our lives, and we wouldn't change it for the world.
An air pocket around Camry's heart caused it to stop beating, but they had 9 days they feel they wouldn't have had closer to home.
They recorded her heartbeat, so that way we would always have it.
We wanted Camry to write her own story and not have one written for her. And so, you know, now that we know what we know, you know, how many families, if they had been presented with, you know, these kind of options, would it have turned out, you know, would they have had a different story?
What do you think?
The Thompsons will make sure Camry's sisters, Braylon and now 5-month-old Chloe, know their sister's story.
Her life was so worth fighting for, and we just don't want any family to have any regrets, because we don't.
Go to this story right now at ky3.com to see how Joplin and Springfield hospitals say they handle trisomy babies and what they say they tell parents.